Hey guys, Kev here, and I have a quick unboxing to do and then a discussion. I'm going to use the Kvist Bladeworks Vanish. The reason I'm going to use that is going to be clear in 2 seconds. Boom. I have these slips. These were made to go with the Vanishes. These are from QSP. They made these, and Kvist, Jacob over there, plans to include a slip with each knife. So it's very thin. I like how thin it is. It's a little bit big in my opinion. But I'm the guy who likes to have his knife sticking out. But I do think it's a little bit too big. Maybe it should be a little shorter. But if you look at what I like in a slip, it's this, right? Make sure I put this in the right way. This is a Northwoods Leatherworks slip, and you can see how the knife sticks out the end. That's how I like my slips. If you look at any of my Jack Wolf knives, right, the handle sticks out a little bit, and that's the way Troy over there makes them. But that doesn't mean it's the right way. For example, I'm carrying currently my Jack Wolf knives Vampire Jack. I got to do the video on that probably right after this. And I have it in a Lancelot leather slip while I wait for Troy to make me a slip like that. And this works perfectly. So some people would argue this is better because it protects more of the knife. So this is what is going to come with your knife unless he decides to change it. I would maybe make it slightly smaller, but it's not coming out of there. Oh, okay, I was cupping it. If you hold it normal, it's not going to just shake out. But if you try to get it out, there we go. So these are the slips. See if it goes in. Oh, much snugger fit when you put it in that way. So because of that's the thing when you have a sway back. This one feels stiffer, by the way, just slightly. But either way, you can get in there. You just kind of pull it apart and you pull your knife out. So they work great. Got both knives in there. You could do this way or you can go this way. I usually like to put my knife in upside down in a slip, but maybe with a sway back, it makes, they fit great either way, honestly. Works great. These don't fold. Oh, there you go. You just kind of have to, now that I did it, it'll do it easier. Yep. I love leather, man. Yeah, these are actually a good size then. And I think you definitely want to put it in this way because then you can access that a little bit easier. I don't know. What do you guys think? But anyway, those are the slips that will come with the knife. So what you're looking at here, this is going to be my overview of the prototypes because I got to get these moving on. What you're going to get is the slip and the knife. And I believe the new pre-order price is $119. Now, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I am going to get one of each version. I was going to do that regardless, but now that it's $119, I'm getting both. You can also add a Northwoods Leatherworks slip. So you can get a custom slip by Troy. I don't know if the colors are changing or anything like that. But these look absolutely fantastic in there. I love, again, how you get a little bit of handle sticking out. That's my preferred way of carrying a slip joint is in one of his slips. So you can get these. I forget the price on these, but they were not like crazy. They were cheaper than I expected. I think it was like 25 or 35 bucks, maybe something like that. Less than his slips normally are, I believe. So you can add that on if you like. So, that's up to you, but these will be included. Okay. And shout out to Troy over at Northwoods Leatherworks Co. Definitely check out his work. Great dude, great products. He makes slips and wallets and all kinds of awesome stuff. So, there you go. All right, let's talk about these slip joints. Let's talk about what I love, what I don't love. So going through my normal review process, if we talk about aesthetics, that's a love it for me. Absolutely love this sort of sway back design with the hole. It does give it a modern look, of course. I really like this full titanium version. But I gotta say, having this one in person, I really like this one as well. So I don't know if I could choose between the two. And that's why I would get both. But they both look really good. And then if you go ahead and open them up, you have a beautiful stonewash blade. That hole just, to me, I don't know what it is about the hole on these slip joints. It just looks menacing in a good way. I don't know how else to describe it as good. I love it. You have that beautiful look right there. This beautiful black washed blade right here. Smart choice not going with DLC. Man, these are sexy. So aesthetically, home run for me. Absolutely love it. Ergonomics. This is where I think a lot of people would question this knife. This is where a lot of people question Jacob in general with his variant design. They just don't like this cutout right here. And for me, it's always been a hand melting experience. And the way my hand works with his designs, I must have the same hands as him or something, because this fits like a glove. And I hear it from most people say it fits amazingly, and you get the occasional person who says it doesn't. This corner gets them, or they don't want to adjust their grip. I don't know. But I can get a full forefinger grip, and I have full control of this blade right now. Now, is it great to have a slip joint with your thumb all the way out here? You know, it depends on what you're doing and how smart you are, right? You can also pinch it back here. Pinch it right here. You can pinch it and hold the hole so that you have more control of it closing on you. It won't close on you that way if you're holding the hole. So she said, I think the ergonomics are fantastic. Now, would you ever hold it like this? No, but it feels freaking great like this. Would you ever hold it like this? No, but it feels freaking great like this. Would you ever hold it like this? Probably not, but it feels great like this. Feels great in all grips, in my opinion. Ergonomics in terms of like action and stuff is, man, it's phenomenal. This is one of the most fidgety slip joints I've handled. Not only is it fun in terms of walk and talk, but the closing and ergonomics in that sense, because I normally don't get to do this one-hand thing with slip joints, because I'm a bit of a pussy and I'm afraid of them closing on me if I do this move. But with this one, it's just so easy to pop like this. So it's so fun. Okay, so let me back up again. Ergonomics, great. Carry is, again, phenomenal. I mean, if you think about it, if you don't carry a slip, this thing just is gone. I mean, it's so tiny. Fifth pocket, drop it in your back pocket, your front left, wherever you want to put this thing, it disappears, right? If you have one of these slips from Troy, I mean, if you've ever carried a Jack Wolf knife, it's literally the same thing, except it's taking up less space because it's not as tall, right? So carries phenomenally. It doesn't weigh a lot. It's very comfortable in the pocket in a Northwood slip, or, you know, a different type of slip. If you have one of Kvist's slips from something else, you could use this clip slip style, front pocket, back pocket, whatever you want to do. It doesn't fit perfectly, but it would work. Another option is the old Lancelot leather clip slip. So if you have one of these guys laying around, you can see mine's well worn. Use the shit out of this. Again, clip slip, boom. You could do that, or you could have one made that's a little bit shorter. So you have lots of options here. I think personally I would just raw dog it, or what's more likely to happen in my life is another Northwoods Leatherworks slip. So I'm going to need 2 more of these, Troy. I'm just kidding. I'll buy them when I get the knives. Yeah, so you have that option, and now you have this option right here. And I'm going to tell you in a second how it feels. And, yep, it just absolutely disappears in your pocket. I'm not going to lie. I don't lie, but I wouldn't lie. It actually feels about as good as this Lancelot leather slip, and better than the Jack Wolf ones, if I'm being honest, which, again, I always am. The slips that come with the Jack Wolves are a little bit thick for my taste. And that's why I always upgrade to a Northwood slip, along with wanting to match colors, loving it sticking out. I love how thin his slips are. Not everybody likes that. And you're getting the slip for free with the knife, so it's not a big deal. But my point is, if you have had a Jack Wolf knife, you know the slip. This is a little bit thinner. I like that feeling a little bit better. It's a little more manageable all around. I feel like there's less weight to it too. I don't know if that's just because of the sheer, but I can't tell you how well this leather will hold up, what grain leather it is. I'm sure it's very good. It looks like it. The stitching actually seems pretty well done for being mass produced. Nice logo there. I think this is a great add-on. He like quickly added this on at the end here, and I think it was a very, very smart move, Jacob. As usual, making good choices. So carry's great. Cutting. The little bit of cutting I did with this was shipping labels, packages, stuff like that. And these are his only 2 prototypes, so I was trying to be careful. This is 20 CV steel. So you're going to get QSP 20 CV, so you're looking at 60 to 61, more like 59 to 61. Probably a point or 2 less on the black wash. That's just how it works. So you're probably looking at 60, 61, 59, 60 here. That would be my guess. But he could have something, he could have a deal with them that I don't know about, whatever. I'm just telling you my experience with 20 CV through QSP, which is great. I have no issue with that. We've had our prototypes and our production stouts tested basically by people using them, using the shit out of them, and we've had no complaints about the steel. So, that is what it is, but QSP does a good job on it. Now, the ergonomics, like I said, are fantastic, and you have this beautiful Wharncliffe blade. There's nothing I'm going to say here that's negative about this blade and the cutting. I mean, it's a laser beam through shipping labels. It's a laser beam through packaging and cardboard. You just need to be careful, obviously, because it's a slip joint. But if you're a big boy, I think you can handle it. And again, you have more control because of the size, and because of this hole, you can have more control by pinching that hole, and now it can't close on you, right? I think the cutting is fantastic. It's a flat grind. That's about as far as I go, guys. I'm not the expert on cutting and all of that. It feels like a pretty thin edge, and I think they did a good job on it. It's a flat grind, obviously. Take a look here. I don't know if Jacob slapped on any edges. He does sharpen, but yeah, cutting's good. Great, honestly. Sound. So walk and talk here. We're going to get into action, basically. These are phenomenal. Whatever Jacob did in terms of dialing in the way the action works on a slip joint is, your geometry on the corners of your tang is what kind of dictates how good the walk and talk is, along with, obviously, the spring tension and how well that's done. And whatever he did or QSP did, they're very snappy in that sense. They're not very strong right here. I'd give it a 5, maybe a 5.5. Probably the most would be a 5.5 from here out on this one. On this one, yeah, about the same. This one has a little bit louder acoustics. It's a little snappier, I'll say. But it also has a little bit of play in the pivot. So I don't know if that could be part of that. This one's tight. Sounds great closing. They both have a stop pin, so that's why you hear that little bit of a thud when it closes. Dead centered. Dead centered. The only thing I could see somebody complaining about on these is the hole. You don't have a nail nick, like a traditional style nail nick. Again, here's my Vampire Jack from Jack Wolf Knives. You have a nail nick right here. You pinch and you pull open, right? Very traditional, grabbing that nail nick. On this knife, you don't have that. You don't really have any room to grab either. So if you're looking at a knife like the ORJ, Ohio Riverjack, yeah, you have the nail nick, but you can see this hump coming out, so you can just grab it. You don't need the nail nick, you just grab it. By the way, this is manufactured by QSP as well. So I don't know if they made this and they learned the geometry, so then they applied that to this. But they both have a similar springy, really good walk and talk. Anyway, back to the pinching. You can grab that there. You can't do that on this knife. So what you have is the hole, and the hole is back here, and that's where it's different. Most slip joints, you're grabbing up here. There's a nail nick, there's a hump, there's something you're grabbing right here to pull, and it does make it easier because you're farther out from the pivot, so you have more control. With this, you have a hole and you're farther back, but because you have a hole, you get a great grip. So for me, it was literally just an adjustment. I just had to get used to using the hole, and I have no problem with it. I will say, with the stonewashed one, if my hands get a little bit sweaty or I have like moisturizer on them, like earlier I was putting my kid down to sleep, I gave her a bath, I put moisturizer on her, so it was a little bit harder to grab this one, but luckily it has the hole, so you can just grab in there. Even with slippery hands, you're good to go. On the blackwash one, you get a little bit more grip. Just seems a little bit easier for me to grab this one and pull it. The pull weight feels the same. I mean, this might be, let me feel it. It's hard to gauge because of where you're pulling, but I'd probably put this at a 7. And this one at like a 6.5. Or 7, 7.5. This one's maybe a little bit stronger, but it could just be that I'm slipping a little bit on that one. I don't know. But anyway, it works fantastically. I love the positioning of it because you just grab and then you're positioned right away to just pop it the rest of the way, or you can grab and then slide and then pull, right? And then on closing, I just pop it down like that. Boom. Slap it down. Another benefit is you can kind of walk it out if you want to just do this, right? You don't have to pinch. You can use one finger and catch it and kind of use this as a nail nick without having to tear your nail up. I really enjoy the closing because you just walk it like that. It feels really good to me. So for me, the walk and talk on these is top notch. I wouldn't quite put them up there. You see, I kind of stumbled a little bit there. It's because of where the hole is. And then, so you have to get the front of the hole kind of, and you got to get a good grip. My hands are getting a little sweaty because I'm just doing it repeatedly. But normal use, pulling it out of pocket or whatever, playing with it in your car or wherever, no issue. I wouldn't put the walk and talk up there with like a Jack Wolf. But I would put it right there with that ORJ. So it's just a step down, which to me in this game, like if you're even in the same ballpark with a Jack Wolf, you're doing something really well. So that's a compliment, if that makes sense. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, sometimes I talk about value. I think this is a great value. I mean, 20 CV, titanium. Yes, it's a slip joint, guys, but come on, it's coming back. It's a thing. So get into it. Try to enjoy it. Try one, This one's $120. That's better than spending $300 or $275. Even the ORJs are a little bit more than these. So I think the price point is perfect. I think it's right there where people who are interested but haven't pulled the trigger yet because they don't want to spend $300, or they're interested, but they're like, man, I'm not really a traditional guy. Well, look, he's giving you the whole, he's giving you all the modern amenities and everything. It's just got the slip joint to it. By the way, fit and finish is another thing we can talk about. It's flush. It's flush. And it's flush. 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 So you know, QSP could have done a better job. And then considering that Kvist is not an OEM and he's delivering these for 120 bucks, that's insane. It really is. Coming from being me, who is selling knives with Devo, we're talking about different types of knives and things like that, but he is not running to the bank here, okay? He's a passionate person. He has a good job. He is a passionate person. He loves knives, and he just wants to share his love of knives and design and everything with us. And so he's going out of his way to make them affordable. And look at all his knives. You go back to his customs that are like $300. The dude is just a passionate knife guy, and he wants to share that. And that's beautiful. It really is. It's beautiful. So I want to support that as much as I possibly can, which is one reason I'm doing this video. I love Jacob. I love the product, so it makes it so easy. And because I'm going to buy 2 of these, so it makes it super easy for me to just be gushing over them. They're fantastic. You should get 1 or 2 and then slap a slip on and call it a day. You'll thank me later. The pre-order is October 26th. You can also get them through Urban EDC Supply. So if you want to use Afterpay, or you want to use your Compass points, or whatever, you know, you can go to Urban EDC and buy these. You can use my link if you want. I didn't think of that till right now. Hey, you can help the channel, buy it through Urban EDC. But I recommend you go to kvistbladeworks.com. You order these directly from Jacob. Let him get the most out of it he can, because he's already probably taking a hit on these margin-wise to get the project going. So if you can support a maker directly, it's always the better way to do it. I would much rather lose out on a little bit of commission and have you go that route. And yeah, I love you, Jacob. Thank you so much for letting me check these out. I believe these are going to Urban EDC next, so they can do their thing with them, and then you'll probably see them on some other YouTube channels. So keep your eyes out for the Vanish. Excellent knife. I love you guys. I hope you have an absolutely fantastic day, and I will catch you later.